That's it. Ooh. You having a nice time in my seats? Hey guys, it's George. Welcome to today's video. BTS have dropped their artist-made collection where each member designed and created 2 pieces of merchandise, and there is a big range in this collection. We've got clothing items, homeware items, a lamp / projector. There's lots of interesting pieces and unexpected pieces. Doing the research for this video, I had the best time. It was quite nostalgic. Watching the making of vlogs, it took me back to my buying days of all of like the swatches of fabric, the swatches of dyes, developing the product. It was just such a fun time to watch, and I think it's really great that they released that because you're getting taken along the process with each member. So the plan is I'm going to give you my overall thoughts, and then we're going to go through all of the pieces, each member's process, and break it down. If you want to learn more about my fashion background, I've left a blurb in the description box. You can go read that at your own leisure. Let's just jump straight into this. I'm predicting that this is going to be a long video. I'm going to be so distracted with the cat here. He's so fluffy. So from watching the making of vlogs, what I think was really interesting was a lot of the members said that they want their items of merchandise to be understated. You won't look at it and be like, oh my God, BTS, I'm ARMY. They wanted it to be subdued and subtle and not like their usual merch. And through looking at the collection, I think they've definitely achieved this. And when we look at the actual campaign images, the campaign videos, you'll notice that pretty much majority of the items are modeled by women. There's the odd male model for Jungkook's and Jimin's hoodies, but the rest of it is women. And when you do watch the making of vlogs, there's a lot of consideration going into the fit. Will this look good on a woman? Will this size look good on a woman? How will this proportion look on a woman? And I think that's an incredibly important thing to think of when you are creating merchandise, because 9 times out of 10, the pieces aren't aimed at male or female. It's a unisex base. So when I went on Weverse for the first time ever to look at the collection and I saw the prices, I honestly was like, holy fuck, this is so expensive. And I was like, this is merchandise. Why is it so expensive? Like freaking out, like, what is this normal? But then watching the making of vlogs, I can understand why. They are selecting good fabrics. They're selecting lots of different pieces of hardware, which finish off the products beautifully, but in turn are going to make the cost prices higher. Like Sugar picking Saffiano leather for that notepad because he knew it was quality and he didn't want fake leather because it can look cheap and it can rip. Little touches like this, and that is the reason the prices are higher. You also have to think each member is designing 2 pieces each, and all of the pieces are so incredibly different. So say Jimin and Jungkook's hoodies are made in the same factory. So when those pieces go down the factory line, the factory workers are going to have to cut different fabrics. They're going to have to cut different pattern pieces. They're going to have to use different machinery. They're going to have to change the thread colors, different hardware machines to put different types of hardware in. So it's going to make the time and that changeover period higher. So it's going to cost you more money, which will then affect the finishing price. Whereas say I was creating a merchandise line and I was doing 5 hoodies, all the same cut, all the same hardware, they just had different prints, that kind of thing, then the production line is going to be quick. All those pieces are going to be cut. You're not changing threads. It's the same process. Everything's going to fly down the production line and it's going to save me money. So there's lots of different factors that go into creating that final sale price. For me, my favorite part of researching into this video, as I've already said, is the making of vlogs. And I think it's so amazing that you get to see the process from the idea generation, the sketching, to the samples, the final approval, and each member had their own process. And you can see some of them were very natural at it and some of them struggled more, and that's not shade towards anyone. The design process, production development, it is incredibly hard. I was so incredibly impressed with Jungkook, Sugar and V. It came so naturally to them and they could have honestly given me a run for my money as a buyer. But then members like J-Hope and RM, they it didn't come as naturally to them. J-Hope kept saying, this is hard, and he kept changing his mind a lot. And it is hard when you're developing something and you have all these different options for straps and finishes and hardware. It is hard to make a decision for the best outcome. And then when it comes to RM, to begin with, he really struggled to kind of describe the fit of the track pant that he wanted. But then a few minutes down, he was like, tapered, it looks the best, this. It's just like getting into the flow of it. But Jungkook, Sugar and V, straight off the bat, naturals. Right, let's start to break down each member's two pieces, and we're going to start with my bias wrecker, J-Hope. I love the fact that he did flower pots and then the bag. I feel like it's very true to J-Hope's aesthetic. He is quite quirky, and sorry, when have you ever seen someone release flower pots as merchandise? It's incredibly original. And when I was watching the making of vlog and he first said it, I was just like, is this bitch for real? Like, what? Like, it was so funny to me. But actually seeing the final product, I really like it. And homeware as merchandise, it's smart, and people can put it in their bedroom, they could put it on their desk at work, they could put it on their vanity where they get ready every day and see it and see the messages on it. So I think it is a very special piece. My favourite part of J-Hope's making of vlog was when he was picking the Pantones and he was like, Pantone. And when he's like picking out the grey colours, it's just so cute, and it really took me back to my buying days of all of like the Pantone books, taking out the swatches, comparing it to like your swatches of dyed fabrics. So it was a joy to watch for me. Very nostalgic. I looked at all of the campaign images and videos before watching the making of vlog, so I had seen the finished bag, and I really like the shape of the bag. So when it comes to watching the making of vlog, it absolutely killed me when he was like, I can't draw, and he was like trying to like cover his sketch as he's drawing. It was so cute. And then when it comes to the development stage, I was kind of concerned. I was like looking at like the samples of the bags that they had, and I was like, how have we got from here to the finished the finished piece? And you can see he's pulling out his tape measure. He's talking about adding more depth to the bag. And then initially they were talking about using a fabric strap or a leather strap. And I was like, no, chain. Like, chain looks the best of this bag. And finally they came to the decision of chain. And I like the fact that you have the denim fabric over the shoulder because it makes it more comfortable to wear, but it also helps break up the chain. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry if the light keeps changing or you can see like little dots. It's the sun coming through my blind, and filming with natural light in the UK in January, unheard of. I think the outcome of J-Hope's bag is super cute and it's super wearable, and the shape of it itself is quite practical. It has a nice amount of depth, a nice amount of height. The front pocket, you can fit a lot of shit in there, but it's that acid wash denim that really gives it a unique selling point. You don't often see bags in that fabric. And then the cute little tab with his writing on it in the silver, the chain. It is a really nice piece, and I think J-Hope was the one that found this the hardest. He said that he struggled with it and he found it difficult, and for the outcome to be this beaut, like, props to J-Hope. Oh, are you coming back? Let's move on to Jin next, and when I saw that he did pajamas, I was like, I don't know, for some reason it just made sense. I don't know why. But then I also saw that he did pillows, and for me the pillows don't really make sense as part of a merch line. I think the pillows are cute with the angel and devil faces on them, but for me it just didn't make sense. You could have done a really cute sleep accessory, you could have done a robe or like an eye mask, something along those lines. So yeah, the pillows just did not make sense to me. But the pajamas, on the other hand, so fucking cute. The devil and the angel character on it, cute. I really love the idea of the angel and the devil, and I found it so fucking funny when Jin was talking about if you've behaved yourself, you can sleep on like the angel side of the bed, and then if you've not behaved yourself, you can sleep on the devil side of the bed. It was just really funny, and how like all of like the directors and producers like behind the scenes of the making of vlogs were like cracked up. It was so good. And I like the fact that they used the tiny tan characters to add into the angel and devil character. I'm not familiar with what tiny tan is, so please fill me in the comments, but the outcome, super cute. Pajamas are such a great shout for merchandise and a unisex item because you're not cutting pajamas to fit a woman's body or a man's body. It's quite a simple boxy square shape. And then in the making of vlog, there was discussions whether it should be cotton or whether it should be silk. And looking at the final outcome, they've definitely gone down the cotton route. And Jin, in that sample development phase, he was talking about whether the cotton could be softer. His pajamas, they should be soft. So I've not been able to feel the actual end product, but they've more than likely taken it down that softer cotton route. So I've actually had a question from Selena regarding this whole topic in my comments section. Hi George, can you please explain the differences between poplin cotton used for PJs vs jersey cotton or cotton mixes? People confused about the differences. This is with regards to the latest BTS merch. So a poplin cotton, it is a type of shirting fabric and it is generally quite lightweight, and this is 100% cotton. It's a natural fiber, so it's breathable, it helps absorb sweat, all that good stuff. So when you sleep, it's going to be very soft and comfortable. And you think if you get really hot in a synthetic man-made fiber like viscose or polyester, it can make you sweat more and it doesn't really absorb the sweat that much. Whereas when you get a jersey cotton, this is going to be mixed with elastane, and that's the fiber that's going to give it the stretch. And you can get jerseys that stretch in 2 ways, so across and up, and then you can get jerseys that stretch in 4 ways, so they stretch on the bias, the diagonal. And then a cotton mix, this is when it's mixed with other fabrics. You can get cotton polyester, sometimes bed sheets are made out of it, that kind of thing. So you're mixing the characteristics of 2 fibers together to make 1 fabric. So that all said, if we're going for like a soft, like cotton perfect for pajamas, then 100% cotton is the way to go. Next up, Sugar. First of all, Sugar with dark hair is a vibe. I'm vibing with him and his dark hair so much. So Sugar's 2 pieces, he made the guitar pick necklace and then he made the notepad. If I'm honest, I'm not really vibing with the necklace. I think it is a nice piece, but it's not to my personal taste. I like the fact that he went for a more antique silver finish, but I think for me, I just don't really like the shape of the pendant on the end, but that's just personal preference. The actual development of the product, super impressed with. He went in, he knew exactly what he wanted. There was no fucking about when it come to like picking the finishes, the length of the chain, any of it. He was very like this, done. Like no indecisiveness, and I rate that so much. And it was the same with the notepad. He knew exactly what he wanted. The type of leather, he wanted it to be a case. The fact that he wanted it to be very understated and subdued, so ARMY could actually use it in the workplace, in the place of education, without it being like, I'm a BTS fan. And the outcome is so beautiful. I love notepads like this. They look incredibly sleek, incredibly sophisticated, and the Saffiano leather has created this beautiful structured case for the notepad, and it has all of the different pockets for your cards. The purple pen that goes with the purple lines. So well done and cohesive. And what I really like about this pad is how you'll notice that there isn't binding down the left hand side. It's attached at the top, so you tear it from the top. So if you're left-handed like me, you can write in this notepad perfectly from left to right. If I write in a notepad that's got like the binding down the middle, my writing starts like a quarter of the way into the page because like my hand is where like the wires are. And I will admit the notepad is one of the items when I went on to Weverse. I was like, $64 for a notepad, what the fuck? But watching the making of vlog, the choice of the leather and then like the structure, all of the pockets inside, I understand the price and I understand the price point because it is a quality piece. It's not just like a notepad that you're gonna buy from like any like random stationery shop, you know? Right. RM went for a wind chime and tracksuit bottoms, and the wind chime was a huge surprise to me. Again, it's one of those ones where when have you ever seen a wind chime in a group's merchandise collection. It is incredibly unique and I really rate it. I really rate the unique pieces in this artist made collection, and maybe it's the fact that we're thinking of Thickums out of his book Chillin' with the wind chime. It's just so sweet, like it's so cute, like it put a smile on my face to say the least. I love this wind chime. The carp fish on the bottom. I love the video. It's just so chilled. The birds and then like the ding and you can hear it. It sounds so beautiful. I went for a walk yesterday afternoon actually and I was like thinking to myself, I was like, I really want that wind chime. Words that I would never normally say. I would never think about wind chimes, but RM sold it to me. Looking at the campaign image of the tracksuit bottoms, I feel like they are that really nice tapered shape. They have a nice elastic around the waist and that BTS logo is very subdued. Again, a lot of the members said that they wanted it to be understated and not screaming BTS, and they have 100% achieved that. When I was watching the making of vlog, I was quite confused though because RM was talking about the jogger being a polyester fabric, and then I was looking at the campaign image and I was just like, that's not polyester. So obviously I knew it was going to change down the line. What I found so funny was his drawing of the joggers was so small. I was like, we're not going to get to see any detail on this sketch. It was literally like the size of like a Lego person's trousers. I just found it really funny and like he seemed like quite amused by it too. I feel like the outcome of RM's two pieces are very simple. The wind chime is so beautiful, but the track pants to me are just, they're nice track pants, but you could get the same kind of track pant from anywhere. And watching the making of vlog, there was a lot of consideration for the type of fabric, the weight of the fabric, the stitch detail on the waistband, and you can see that they're comparing it to an Adidas style. So I think that's really interesting. But for me, the track pants aren't like the pivotal piece of this collection. Next up, Jimin, my bias. This making of vlog just reminded me why he's my bias. It was so cute. Like the part where Jimin was asking if Jungkook had done purple and then they were like, no. And he was like, he's done black. And then he's like laughing. It was just so cute. I was like, this is why you're my bias. This is why. Jimin went for a hoodie and a pair of earrings. I think both great choices. A hoodie, incredibly wearable, and earrings. Jimin always has a beaut set of earrings in, so it's very Jimin. The only thing that kind of threw me was the color choice of the hoodie. If it was not shown that it was Jimin, I wouldn't have put the purple and the yellow hoodie with Jimin, if you understand what I'm saying. For me, I wouldn't relate purple and yellow with him. But I really like the outcome of it. That purple shade is really beautiful. And in the making of vlog, you can see him really carefully sat there with different swatches of the fabric dyed in different tones of purple. And he's putting the yellows and the whites against them. And again, it like took me back to the buying days. And I really love the fact that they went with the deeper purple in the end. In that process development shot, he's got the slightly lighter one on, and I think going with that deeper one, keeping the drawstrings in that tonal purple, is definitely the right choice because it makes the font and the text really pack a punch. And I love the placement of the font on the front, on the back, and when you turn you get to see the full message. I know in the development stage they were toying with the idea of embroidery instead of like printing the text on, and there are pros and cons to them both. Embroidering the font on, it would have given a more luxe feel to the item, but it also would have pushed the cost price up. And sometimes when you embroider letters or fonts, whatever you want to call it, into fabric, it can become slightly unclear. But going with a print, it's incredibly clear. You can read it from far away. So I think going with the print was the right choice. What I found really interesting when watching Jimin's making of vlog, and bearing in mind I started with Jungkook then went on to Jimin, and it was the whole thought process of the jersey. In Jungkook's vlog, he was saying that he didn't want the inside of his hoodie to be like the fluffy finish because it gets on your clothes, it gets everywhere. And there are two different types of jersey. We will get into that when we talk about Jungkook's pieces. But Jimin, I was like, what do you think he's gonna go with? And then he ended up going with like the fluffier, softer one. And it all comes down to personal preference. There is no real major difference between them, but I just thought that was interesting from like a nerdy fashion perspective that no one else will actually care about. Cool. And then of course the earring, and Jimin was talking about having 2 piercings in one hole in your ear. That sounds painful, but I can imagine it looks cute, and I really love the outcome. I know that there were different samples and he was toying with different sizes, but I think the size and the double hoop detail of the engraving is really beautiful, and the engraving going through them gives them that really unique selling point and unique design detail. And what I found really interesting was with the hoodie and the earring, he was talking about putting little 13s on them, and I was like, why? And then it turns out that he has 13 tattooed on his wrist. I didn't know that, and so I googled it, and it's because his birthday is on October 13th and BTS debuted on the 13th, and I was just like, oh my god, one step closer to my bias. My birthday is also the 13th. Oh my god. So yeah, the 13th of this month. Yeah. Great job from Jimin, loved the pieces. Let's move on to V. V released the Mute Boston bag and the brooches, and this bag is so fucking beautiful. The shape, the color combination, the scarf on it. Oh my god, this bag is so beautiful, and it's a surprise for me to say that. You guys know I don't really vibe with brown bags, accessories, shoes, belts, anything brown leather is just not for me. And to see this brown bag with the green panels, the green like belt loop detail on the strap, I was like, what's going on? And the scarf, it just accents it so beautifully. I think the bag is my favorite piece from this collection, hands down. No like second thought about it. Favorite piece. The bag is like low-key giving me Mulberry vibes, and Mulberry bags are beaut, and I think that's why I'm so like obsessed with the Mute Boston bag. What really impressed me about V in the making of vlog is that he knew exactly what he wanted. He knew the shape. He was like doing the motion for like the handle, the strap, the scarf. He knew exactly what he wanted. And then he was really conscious of the type of leather that he was selecting. He wanted to see different samples, different finishes. And he mentioned Saffiano from the beginning, and I believe the bag ended up being in Saffiano leather. But leather can have so many different finishes, and picking the right type of leather to create this bag is extremely important. If you went for a leather that was too soft, too thin, it wouldn't be able to create the structure of the bag. And of course you can put different backings on leather to give them a heavier weight or help them to create more structure, but you still need to pick the right leather to begin with. So I really appreciated the fact that he was incredibly conscious of that, and he took his time to pick. And the addition of the silk scarf, the bit where she's like, what fabric do you want? He was like, silk. I mean, he didn't snatch, but I was literally just like, I love this. You bougie, Saffiano leather and silk. Don't hold back. Love it. The proportion of the bag is perfect as well. It's a really nice shape. And in the making of vlog, you can see that they really took their time to get the dimensions of the bag correct. And they were conscious of what's it going to look like when a man holds it? What's it going to look like when a woman holds it? And that's all taken into account during the product development process. It is hard. You have to think about a lot of shit. Go away, son. And then when it came to the brooches, I really love the brooches. They're so quirky, they're really unique, and I love that he drew the faces. He drew them all, and I'm really impressed with his drawing skills. And what cracked me up was the bit when he was like, I like nosebleeds, and he starts like drawing nosebleeds like coming out of a flower. Vampire status has been confirmed. I like nosebleeds. I think it says it all. And then at the end where he's like drawing the nosebleed and he's like telling like, the woman from the factory like, oh, like don't make it look too straight, you know, like it drips down your lips. And I was just like, this is too much. It was so fucking good. But then the fact that they decided to go with metal instead of plastic, great choice. Gonna make them more luxe, more long lasting. And Brooches and badges are just a great way to accessorize any item, so definitely a great choice. Finally, Jungkook. Jungkook impressed me the most with his making of vlog and how he was drawing, how he was developing the product. It impressed me the most. JK giving me a run for my money when it comes to product development, buying, all that kind of stuff. I see you. So Jungkook went for the hoodie and then the projector slash lamp, whatever way you want to look at it. And I think it's incredibly unique. I really love the lamp. I'm just gonna call it a lamp. Again, it's an item that you don't necessarily see from people in their merchandise collections, and the thought process behind it of wanting to create a cozy environment before you sleep. Some people don't like it when the light in the room's too bright. They don't like it when they're in the pitch black. So it's a really cute piece. And then the fact you can connect to it and play music, just so chilled. Like, it would look so beautiful in here. Chill moment, little like chilled playlist on, a candle. Oh yes, a sheet mask. Yes. Jungkook knows. Jungkook knows. Right, let's focus on the hoodie now. I don't know that much about tech to like really dive in on the lamp, apart from the fact it's cute, it's cozy, it's chill. Great idea, unique. The hoodie itself, one of the first things that Jungkook said in his making of vlog was he doesn't want it to remind you of BTS. He doesn't want it to be BTS. I know I keep doing that example, but I'm enjoying doing it. But 100% he achieved this, and the asymmetric hoodie, the way it has that kind of distressed detail to the hem, is giving me a Rick Owens vibes. And Rick Owens is 100% a designer that fits Jungkook's aesthetic. The thing that impressed me the most about Jungkook was the drawing he did of the hoodie in his making of vlog. He basically drew a technical drawing of the hoodie by hand with the correct type of pen you're supposed to do it with, and the proportions of it looked spot on. The distressing detail, clearly drawn. I was so impressed. Professionally, you're taught to do technical drawings on Adobe Illustrator, some kind of CADing software, but you can also hand draw them, and it is so hard. Usually you draw them in pencil, go over them in that type of pen, so to go in straight on the pen, for it to look that good, so impressive. Like, it was just like natural. He'd done it 1,000 times before. I can't fucking draw technical drawings like that, Jungkook. Another thing that massively impressed me was when Jungkook was presented with the professional CAD drawings, and straight away he's making very constructive design comments saying about how this style is making too much like a raincoat, and then he's going on to comment on the size of the hood, how he wants the hood to fit. And it's actually surprisingly difficult to get the pattern piece of a hood right and to get the right fit. Is it going to be the right depth? Is it coming over the face enough? What's the shape like at the back? There's a lot of things to take into consideration, and it is hard work for a hood. It makes no sense, does it? But it's hard. It's hard. So onto the jersey comment that I made earlier when we were discussing Jimin. Straight off the bat, Jungkook was like, I don't want the fluffy type of sweatshirt fabric that gets all over you, and that is fleece back jersey. Jungkook ended up going for what is known as loop back jersey. I'm presuming so anyway. I've not seen the inside of these pieces. If you have them, let me know in the comments. So loop back, when you look at the inside, it's gonna look like loads and loads and loads of tiny little loops. This type of sweatshirt jersey takes longer to produce, and it is seen as the more luxurious type of jersey. There's no real difference on the outside, it's just all about the inside, because the fleece one, it does tend to leave like debris and like fluff on your clothes underneath, whereas loop back doesn't. So I assume that's why it's seen as like the more luxurious version. And then when it came to reviewing the final product, and Jungkook was talking about extending the hem length down, how is this going to look on a woman? 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters. He's incredibly specific. He's getting the tape measure out. He's talking about the angle of the underarm and how he wants it to be more rounded to really enhance that oversized fit. It's just incredibly impressive. Everything from the tech drawing, the fabric selection, the fit comments. Did you work in the fashion industry before being an idol? Like, what? And then the best part of the making of vlog at the end was when Jungkook was saying about how ARMY are fashionable, and he's like, if you think this piece is tacky, just wear it at home, but if not, you think it's cute, wear it out. It was just so cute. It put a smile on my face, and maybe Jungkook's becoming a bias wrecker. I think he's already there. The BTS Artist Made collection is definitely a great merch collection. You can see a lot of thought has gone into the pieces. What are their fans going to enjoy? And they've also put lots of personal touches into the merch, which is extremely, extremely important. And the making of vlogs, so genius. So we can see every single step of the process, and it just makes the members even more likable and lovable than they already are. I had a great time researching and creating this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think of the Artist Made collection in the description box. And also, if I'm right about the loop back jersey on Jungkook and the fleece back on Jimin, I'm curious to know. My little like nerdy fashion fabric stuff is coming out. What you should do next is go check out my previous video. I'll leave it linked in the top screen here as well as in the description box. But thank you so much for watching. A massive thank you to everyone who's subscribed. You are the best. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.